So these flowers are called wild marigolds, and guess what their nickname is?
Wait. Something inappropriate?
No. Crazy Beths. Seriously.
Come to the water where you will find peace. Take a step into the river and get down on your knees. Come to the mountain while taking in the view. You will find that life is greater than you knew. When you go through the storm, I will hold you, keep you warm. When you stay in the night, I will shelter, I will fight, I will fight. You're broken and you're shattered at the point of no return. You pick up the pieces and you let the bridges burn. So come to the water, you're sailing with the breeze. Take a step into the river where you will find peace. When you go through the storm, I will hold you, keep you warm. When you stay in the night, I will shelter, I will fight. Oh yeah, I will fight. When you go through the storm, I will hold you, keep you warm. When you stay in the night, I will shelter, I will fight, I will fight. I will fight. So come to the water where you will find peace. Take a step into the river and get down on your knees.
Every day you make mistakes, but heroes know that's what it takes to find themselves, to save a friend, discover.
I will do this process twice, I think, to fill up the tank. We'll see how much it takes. But it's a little bit like man friend says, watching paint dry. You do have to stick around. You don't want the pump to go faster than the water's pouring in and vice versa. So.
In the end, when you're down, you close your eyes, build a raft of all the lies, float your troubles out to sea, be the best that you can be. These things I
thought I would take you down to the campsite for a little chit chat. Okay, so walked all the way down a little trail there. We're gonna actually make the trail a little less steep by zigzagging it through here eventually. If you're wondering why I'm wearing like a coat and a hat and a hoodie and everything, it's really chilly here. But basically this is the hour that things start to get a bit warmer, and then starting tomorrow morning the temperatures go right up to like 18 or something crazy like that for a real spring now. I think this is just a little cold spell we all got, not just us but everywhere. But anyway, that's why I'm kind of bundled up, because the breeze is chilly. But when I come down here, it's less of a breeze and it doesn't take me long to start stripping down. I'm not staying down here long though. I'm going to come back down here and work a bit later, but my daughter is in school right now, so I just want to keep an eye on her and turn off the generator when she's finished class online. So I'll be back later to do some more work. Basically, I just have to like rake this spot here. It's fairly cleaned up, but this is going to be like our campsite. We're going to pitch tents in here. We're going to have a little campfire pit. My garden's going to go down here. I was trying to convince my friend to put our chicken coop down here. I'd love to have my chickens down here, but he thinks I'm crazy because then I'd have to walk down here up and down to collect eggs all the time. And I'm like, well, I'm coming down all the time anyway. But he has a point. In the wintertime, if I don't want to walk down here to get eggs, it's nice to have them up closer to the RV, to the house. But what I've done over here, I'll flip you around because I started making like the path that's going to go up here. It looks like a big mess right now, but eventually, and really like little by little, we can see the difference as we get through it. So it may not take as long as I thought. It's certainly going to take like probably all for the next whole year of like cleaning this out and cutting it up. But I want to show you this little walkway I made. So I came down this way, came down here and just came around here. And now this is the area that I just recently took all the brush out. Isn't it so nice when it's cleaned up? And the moss and everything has room to breathe and grow again, and some grass. It's a beautiful view of the lake. Isn't that pretty down there? Okay, so a lot of this on the ground is like little wee twigs and like leaves and all that, and so I don't know, it makes really good compost. So I thought that would make an excellent start to this little bed here. I'm going to put a flower bed here. I'm going to build it up, so all of this that has to be raked up, and this little pile that I have here will go in there. I'm going to raise this up. There'll be a little walking path through here to bring you to the burn area. So this is a pile for burn, this is a pile for burn. You come around, and then there's I call it like the big industrial fire pit. The campfire pit will be just a small little guy, probably over here somewhere, where we pitch our tents or park our tent trailer. But this is what we are using because it's surrounded by water and it's kind of open there. So we burn things and feed these piles into there. And so eventually we'll be working our way through here. But in the meantime, it's nice to have it a little bit cleaned up and just make it look cozy and comfortable while you're working through it. So I am going to start this flower bed right here. I'm going to build this up so it and then I'll put some pots here with some flowers, and the walkway will be mulch. I'm calling this natural mulch, all the twigs and stuff. And then the walkway will bring you around. And then that wood wall, I guess, kind of blocks the mess there from the camp area, which is nice and cleaned up and opened up. Just like some stumps in that. We got to get rid of the stumps, but we might do something with them. Maybe we'll do like some art on them or something. So let's get back over here. So if you're at the campsite and you're hanging out here and having a good time and you want to take a little walk back up, you can go past the beautiful little flower bed that I'm going to put here, through this little walkway here, and then I've started making, because it's kind of, you know, it's a little bit wet and muddy and that, so I started making a little walkway, and I'll bring it, probably going to bring it all the way here and around like that. But any logs that I see that are like this size, I'm kind of putting here, leaving a space for the ATV to get through. There. And now you don't have to walk through all the water. And then it's going to work its way up. Our property line ends right here. And we're going to make it, the walkway kind of go like this. So it's a little less steep. And then we'll clean this up along the way. And then, you know, I'll put little potted flowers or something around and some wildflowers and that, and make the walkway really pretty and as natural as I can. And then our property line ends, where are we here? There is a tree with a ribbon on it, but basically where things are cleaned up here, that's where our property line ends. So cleaned all this up, so I thought a nice walkway through here, and then maybe a bench over here overlooking the lake a little bit. And it's very natural, wild in behind us. It's so sweet. And the moss just is loving the sun, getting some air. It's been covered up in fallen trees for a long time. Isn't that lovely? Anyway, okay, let's find a place to sit down. I'll say a few things. Okay, I'm going to test this first before I actually do like a real discussion. So make sure that my head isn't cut off at the top. I'm learning this vlogging stuff. But let's see how that looks. See? It's a good thing I did that. My head was totally cut off. I don't understand. It leads me to the first thing I want to address about this little YouTube channel that I have going on. I record everything from my phone. I don't have any fancy cameras. I don't use any fancy editing system. I don't do anything like super professional. And I'm a simple person. I don't like things to be complicated. I only have so much storage even on my phone, so once I reach a certain point, when I'm working on a video, I have to edit the video, save the video, and then delete all the footage that I have to make that video. So the only thing I have left is a copy of the actual finished video. So I don't save all the footage that I record and edit out. Another thing I want to add to this little discussion is YouTube itself. So I do not make any money off YouTube. It was brought to my attention from a good friend of mine. Hi, Lisa, if you're watching. She was like, oh, you know, you must make some money off YouTube because you have ads in your videos. And I thought, oh, I don't, those are not my ads. I don't pick those ads. I don't know. That's a YouTube thing. I actually have YouTube Premium, so I don't see the ads. I don't see any ads when I'm watching YouTube because I actually use and appreciate and enjoy the premium ads. So if you're seeing ads on my video, it's not because I'm putting them there. I think when you reach like millions and millions of subscribers and you have like sponsors and, you know, you can pick and choose sort of what ads you put on there, or ads on there. I don't know how it works completely, but I do know that once you reach that level, then yes, I'm sure you can make some good money off YouTube. But that's not my purpose for having a YouTube channel. I just wanted to have some keepsake videos that I could share, and I actually really enjoy editing them. I think it's fun to choose like the music and the, you know, just it takes some creativity. It was tricky at the start, but now I'm getting used to it. So now I hope to learn to do a little bit more with my videos. We do have a drone. That leads me into this next thing. We do have a drone. I don't know how to work it completely well yet. Man Friends ran it a few times. But we would like to get into working with the drone more. It's not a very fancy drone. It's just a very boring drone. But it'd be nice to get it up in the sky, at least like just see what's out there on the other side of our property, because we haven't been to the far end of our land yet. We don't know what's out there. So also another thing I want to just talk about is how good it feels to be here. I know people that know me really well. They know how happy I am to be here, being in nature, being in the wilderness. But you know, it hasn't even bothered us one little bit going back to like this off-grid kind of lifestyle, even though it won't be long and we will be on grid. You know, my man friend, he does need to be on grid for work, and I also need to be on grid for work. So we are working our way towards being on grid, but it's going to take a lot of time. So, you know, in the meantime, we have to collect our own water, and we have to empty our own waste, and we only run generator for certain amounts of time to preserve the fuel. You know, we don't need to run the generator all the time except for internet, and so we pick and choose when we put the internet on. Generally for school, obviously for my daughter, she goes online for an hour and a half. She's actually in class right now. In the morning, we only run it for, like, now with it being quite warm, I mean, today is cool, but we don't need the heat on in there right now, so we only run it in the morning just to charge up the batteries, charge up our phones perhaps if we need to, and obviously, most importantly, make the coffee. Which reminds me, I'm really wanting one right now. It's past my lunch hour. I need my coffee. So so we run the generator, and then in the evening, you know, we run it for a couple of hours just to be able to watch some TV, or I actually work on my videos and upload them. I mean, it's quicker online. I check my emails. I message people for dog stuff, because I've been already starting to accumulate some customers before my shop's even here, which is wonderful. So I do a little bit of work, and yeah, that's it. We don't really need to be online all the time, you know. Yeah, but mostly we're just hanging out outside. We're cooking food, which, by the way, is another thing I want to bring up. I'm going to do a video soon on all the things that we eat in a week. Like, it's amazing how we have gone from this. We went from a beautiful big house in Ontario with a beautiful brand new renovated bathroom and a beautiful bathtub and a beautiful kitchen newly renovated, and just everything was getting really, you know, quite modern there. And I thought there was a small part of me that thought, I'm going to miss this bathtub, and I'm going to miss this. And I don't. I mean, I love going to do that water job. Like, that's the best. I mean, you really appreciate what you're consuming when you have to go get it. Many thanks and big hugs and kisses to my sister and my brother-in-law for getting me that camping filter, because the filter in it itself lasts 1,000 liters. So I did the math. That could last, if we only did it just for drinking water, using drinking water, the amount of drinking water, I use it for cooking, like boiling potatoes and things like that. And I use the fresh filtered water for coffee. The rest of the water is not filtered for showering, washing dishes. I mean, obviously we don't have to filter that water, but it's nice to have that water to drink. And thanks to them, so that filter would last 2 years. I did the math. If we only did it for the amount of times we did it, and I have an extra filter, and I'm fine doing off-grid outhousing for using the bathroom. So, I mean, I'm amazed at how much it doesn't bother me. It feels better to be like this. It feels better to live like this. when we do go on grid, I don't think much will change, other than, I don't know. I'll feel like, I don't know, I'm going to want to maybe turn off the internet for half a day. It feels good to shut her down and kind of be away from it for most of the day. I obviously love to tap into social media and my friends and that, and I love to search for stuff and watch YouTube and that. Obviously I love all that, but I love being outside in nature more. So I'm already feeling the effects of the sun. Like I'm gonna need to start stripping down, and it feels like so good to have spring here finally. When we were in Ontario in spring, the groundhog saw its shadow, or didn't see its shadow, or I forget how it goes. However it goes, he blessed Ontario with an early spring, which totally it did, and it was just starting to feel warm, like it was already like 7-8 degrees during the day as a daytime high when we left there. So it was just starting to feel like spring. All the snow was melted. And then we came here where it just was like freezing still. There was still -5s and still -2s, and overnight still like -11 one night, and we're in an RV, but now it feels like we're caught up to everyone else. I'm kind of glad that we didn't feel the really warm spring in Ontario and then came here, because that would have been like torture, from shorts back to wearing stuff like this. So it's been just a longer transition to finally reach spring. Anyway, I'm gonna go back up to the RV. I'm gonna get some lunch for the daughter and make a coffee for me, and I will probably come back down here and spend the rest of my day just raking and working on this campsite. It's the long weekend this weekend. Temperatures are climbing. It looks like a steady 10 degrees through the night from here on, that it looks like in the extended forecast anyway. No more of these -1s and 0s overnight. I want to be camping outside. So I'm gonna make my way back up. Thank you everyone for following my channel. I will catch you on the next one. Maybe it's the food one. We'll see. Ooh, what are we gonna cook? What are we gonna make out here in the woods? Maybe I'll find some wild food and we'll do like a wild food off-grid cooking video. Fiddleheads, those are coming. I know they're probably already up and bloomed in Ontario, but around here they're just starting. So it's time to forage. Okay. Oh, I just slipped. Oh. So, probably shouldn't walk in the mud side. Let's go over here. Oh my gosh. I totally wiped out. Not too bad. Okay. I'll go on this side. It's another good system having these stumps here, because it's a place to anchor your feet. It's a good place to stop and take a breather though, eh?